What is up, Insaners, and welcome to another video of the Fantasy Premier League 2022-23 season. In this one, guys, we're gonna talk about the ultimate Game Week 12 guide, which will cover some players to sell and buy this week. We'll also talk about a wildcard draft in case if you're thinking about wildcarding this week. We'll also cover a free hit draft, and we'll end this video with the best captaincy options for Game Week 12. So if you like what you see today, guys, make sure that you hit the like button. You can also subscribe to the Insanely Football YouTube channel for more FPL content. Now with that, let's get into today's video. Now guys, starting with the players to buy and sell this week, guys, we'll first talk about the players to sell this week. I don't think so it's gonna get this straightforward, and considering that we have a blank game week, Arsenal and Man City are not facing each other, they're not playing each other. I think it's pretty straightforward in terms of which players we should sell. Of course, we also have somebody like a James Maddison, guys, who is having a fixture against Leeds United, but he got suspended for that 5th yellow card in the last game. It was pretty disappointing, but I think there are enough players, there are enough options in that price point, in that price category, for you to kind of look towards, and I think he's a clear and easy sell this week, guys. I don't think so there's any worth in holding James Maddison, and you can move on to better players. Talking about some other sells as well, guys, there's Kevin De Bruyne, and there's an easy replacement in Mo Salah, guys, who's also the best captaincy option, or at least the most popular captaincy option for Game Week 12. Then we have Odegaard, again, like a Maddison, guys, there are enough replacements in that price point as well. Then we have Saliba as well, who also doesn't have a fixture as he's playing for Arsenal, of course. We have enough options in defense. There are options like Trippier, for example. We saw Trent also featuring against Man City, and he could be an option as well if you have additional money in the bank. You can of course go towards a Chelsea defender in case if you want to take some chances, but I think Saliba is an easy sell. You also have Gabriel Jesus, guys, and if you have him in your team this week, guys, I think again there are enough options. You can go for a Mitrovic, you can downgrade or even upgrade to a Liverpool option as well. You can go for a Firmino, you can go for a Darwin Núñez. So there are enough options in the Gabriel Jesus price point as well. Now in terms of the buying options, guys, I think Trossard is the most straightforward option to kind of go for. Let's say if you want to replace Martinelli, who I think is not a immediate or a priority sell, but let's say if you want to get rid of Martinelli, guys, I think Trossard is a straightforward replacement. There's not a lot of money difference as well, so I think you will be able to make that move quite easily. Trossard is facing Nottingham Forest, guys, who still look like the worst team in the league in terms of conceding chances, in terms of conceding goals as well, guys. And I think Trossard has the ability to get a huge haul this week. So I think he's a great option to go for. In case if you are looking for a James Maddison replacement, guys, there is Wilfried Zaha. If you want to go a bit safer, a bit long term, then you can also punt on a Mason Mount, who has shown a lot of good form over the past couple of weeks, guys. Chelsea are a team who can score goals. We've seen that already. Mount is hitting the purple patch. We've seen that he's a streaky player, and you can catch this haul, catch this run that he's on, and get a good haul this week. It's Brentford, so again, I'm not really expecting a very easy game from Chelsea, but I think there are chances of a Mount haul in this week, guys, and I think he's a great option to go for. Then we have Mo Salah, guys. In case if you are looking to replace a KDB, I think he's a straightforward swap. I don't think so there's a lot to think about it, guys. Salah is a great captaincy option as well, as I mentioned earlier. I think he's an easy buy. Then we also have Mitrovic. So let's say if you are replacing a Gabriel Jesus, for example, I think Mitrovic is a great option. Yes, there were doubts about him not starting in Game Week 11, guys, but he did start against all odds. He also scored a goal, and I think he's a great option against Aston Villa, guys, who definitely aren't the best defense either. So there is a good opportunity for a Mitrovic haul as well, and you can easily get him in your team in case if you have a Gabriel Jesus. Now these are the players to buy and sell this week, guys. Let me know what you think about what players are you planning to buy or sell this week. Do let me know in the comments below. Now with that, guys, let's get into the wildcard draft. In case if you're wildcarding this week, what should be the team? Let's look at it now. So this is the wildcard draft for Game Week 12, guys. I know it's not the ideal scenario to be in, but let's say if you have about 5 or 6 players who are only having a game, or they're the only players who are featuring for you in this week, I think there's a case to be made for wildcarding a bit earlier, because the ideal scenario would have been wildcarding in Game Week 13. But now if you don't have enough players, rather than taking -8s, -12s, even -16s, for example, and trying to get towards an 11, guys, you can easily find a balance of Game Week 12 players. You can field a playing 11 in Game Week 12, and then you can focus on players, on certain players like Man City and Arsenal players, and then get them in your team on a wildcard. So in terms of goal, guys, we've gone for Kepa. Now, I think a lot of people might say that he is not nailed, but I generally think he's a great option to go for. It seems that Potter is kind of favoring Kepa and he's putting in great performances, guys. He's only 4.4 million at the moment, and I think he's a great option to go for. The other option is Ward, guys, and I don't think so we'll be playing this option quite a lot. So I think Ward at that price point is quite decent. Then coming to our defense, guys, we have retained Cancelo because we still feel he's the best option in that premium price point. Of course, the likes of Trent and Robertson, they've been injured. James is also injured long term now. So there aren't a lot of options in the premium category. But I think Cancelo still merits a position in this team, guys. Yes, he had a poor game against Liverpool, but he's been pretty good this season. And I think he definitely deserves to stay in the 11, even on a wildcard draft. Then we have Trippier again. We're not doing anything different with the Trippier. I think the fixtures are decent. There is attacking potential with the Trippier. There is clean sheet potential as well with Newcastle, as we've seen already this season, guys. I think he's a must-have, or at least he's a decent option to kind of go towards in your wildcard squad. Then we have three slightly cheaper options to go for, guys. We have Doherty, who's the punt in the defense, guys. There are chances that he might not start, or he may come from the bench, may get reduced minutes. So if you want a slightly safer option, maybe you go towards a Dunk. That's one option, guys. You can either go towards a slightly safer option from Tottenham. Maybe a Dyer, for example, can also be a particular option to kind of go for. If you are trusting the Chelsea defense, guys, which completely I do not trust at the moment. So if you want to go for the Chelsea defense, maybe you go for Thiago Silva. But again, at that age, I don't think so he's going to start every game. Then maybe you look towards a Chilwell, but Chilwell played 90 minutes in the last game, and with such a short turnaround time, he might not start this week. Then we also have Cucurella, guys, who played 45 minutes. So I'm a little bit more confident about Cucurella starting this week, and I think he could be an option as well. Other than that, guys, we have Guehi and Williams as the slightly two cheaper options. Guehi, again, is Crystal Palace. They're not really keeping a lot of clean sheets, but the potential is definitely there. We know that Guehi still has some decent attacking threat, some goal threat as well. So we are getting something at least in that price point. Then we have Neco Williams. Not really expecting much from Neco Williams, guys, and I'm not even thinking of a bench boost at the moment, that I need to kind of improve this position. I think in that price point, he is decent value, guys. There are chances that he might not start every game, but again, I expect him to at least feature in every game, even if it's from the bench. I think he's a decent option as a cheap defender. Now coming to our midfield, we have the likes of Martinelli. We've retained Martinelli. But the reasons of retaining Martinelli is that personally, guys, I got him at a very cheap price. Now he's gained a lot of value, and I think there's not enough merit in losing that value. I still feel he's the best Arsenal attacker to kind of go for, guys, in that price point. I think he's immense value, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna get goals. He's gonna get assists as well. There's a lot of attacking potential with Martinelli, and I think he retains his position in this team, guys. Then we have Zaha. Again, you can possibly go towards a Bowen, for example, if you don't trust the Palace attack. If maybe you have more faith or more trust in the West Ham attack, you can go towards a Bowen. But I have Zaha in this team, guys, because I also have Trossard as a playing option here. Trossard has a great fixture this week, at least for the couple of weeks. I think he's a decent option to kind of go for, especially this week, guys. I really like his fixture. He's also a great differential captaincy option if you kind of want to go there. And I think Trossard, with a lot of money in the bank with this team, guys, I think it's about 2.9, and I think I can easily go towards a Foden, for example. If I want to go there, I can go towards a Saka, for example. So there are multiple options to kind of go towards, and I think I like Trossard for this particular game week. Then we have Andres Pereira, guys. I think he's a great fifth midfielder to kind of go for. He's still a lot of value. He is giving us assists. He is playing games. He's a creative threat in that Fulham team, guys, and I think he's a great fifth midfielder option. If you want to especially go cheaper, I think is a great option to kind of go for. Then we have the big hitting Mo Salah, guys. Of course, he's not hit the ground running this season, but yes, he did score that goal against Man City. It could have been a lot more, but nevertheless, I think there will be a lot of people now transferring in Salah, especially with that performance against Man City. He also got a hat-trick midweek in the Champions League last week. So that also instills a lot of confidence in Salah buyers, guys. I think there is potential for a Salah haul in the coming games. The fixtures are really, really good. It looks like if he's going to play a lot more centrally, a lot more closer to the goal, I think there is an opportunity to get mega hauls. And depending on that position, guys, of course, that may change or may not change week on week. But I still feel Salah has the potential to go big. And I think this is the right time to get on a Mo Salah this week, guys. And I don't think so there's a lot of thought to be given here. Now coming to our attack, guys, we've gone for Mitrovic, Toney and Haaland. Now we've retained Haaland just because of the fact that we again have a lot of value invested in Haaland. I still feel he's the best attacker to go for. Yes, he did blank against Liverpool, but I'm not expecting him to blank every week. I think Yes, again, in the tougher fixtures, he can still blank, but on the other hand, he can still score a hat trick as well. We've already seen that, and Haaland has to be there in your team, guys. He's also a great captaincy option for most weeks. Now, let's see how Mo Salah performs, and based on that, we could have a debate in terms of which way to kind of go for. But I think Haaland definitely needs to be there in your wildcard team. Mitrovic, again, a very cheap option, a great option to kind of go for. Tony is a safe long-term option to kind of have in your team, especially when you are wildcarding. Of course, this wildcard team probably changes after game week 16, especially when the World Cup kicks in, guys, and after the World Cup we have unlimited transfers, a lot can change, but I think till then Tony is also a decent option. You can go for Solanke as well if you are looking to save more money and you're probably looking to invest that additional money in midfield or defense. So Solanke is also an option. I've not gone for Kane here. I still feel Tottenham don't have the best of fixtures. Yes, he's still scoring, he's still giving FPL points. So if you want to go for Kane, that's also an option, but I have not gone for him in this wildcard team. Now coming to the free hit team, guys, let's say if you have already used your wildcard and your team is still in a very bad shape, I think there's also an opportunity to go for a free hit. I still don't think it's the right time to free hit because there will be blanks and there will be double game weeks later in the season where there will be a lot more to gain or lose. So I think it's better to kind of save your free hit. But in any case, guys, if you are planning to use the free hit, I think this is the kind of team I would probably go for. In terms of our defense, I've gone for the Brighton defender, which is a safer option. And we have retained Guehi from the wildcard team. We've gone for Trent because Trent featured against Man City and it's a slightly riskier option to kind of go for. But there's huge attacking upside with a Trent, guys. I think he could get a haul. I'm still not very sure about Liverpool's chances of a clean sheet because West Ham are a decent attack. But I think in terms of going for somebody who with a huge attacking upside, I think Trent is definitely up there, guys. There are chances that he might have a bench appearance as well. And, we might still end up getting points from that bench appearance because he can still score, still assist. And he has a lot of routes to FPL points. I think he's a great option still. Cucurella is again a slightly riskier option. That's why we have options like a Dunk and a Guehi, even a Trippier who are kind of nailed for 90 minutes. So Cucurella again, Chelsea is facing Brentford, so it's not going to be that easy, but there is still a potential for clean sheet in there. And I think he's still a decent option to go for. In terms of our midfield, guys, we've gone for Mount, Zaha, Trossard and Pereira. Again, we've retained Trossard, Pereira and Zaha from the wildcard team. We also have Salah as a great option. I think these are really, really good options. Possibly the best midfield to kind of go for if you are looking to free hit in game week 12. These options, guys, have the best fixtures for their teams. They're also really, really good explosive FPL picks who can all have huge hauls in game week 12. In terms of our attack, guys, we've gone for Mitrovic, Solanke and Kane because, of course, Haaland doesn't have a fixture, so we don't have to go for him. There is a chance where you possibly can go for a Liverpool attacker as well. Let's say if we have some confirmation bias in terms of, or some confirmation generally in terms of which Liverpool asset is going to start, whether it's going to be Firmino, whether it's going to be Darwin Núñez, we can also go for that particular option instead of Kane. So that flexibility is there because we have enough money, so we can switch around certain options. I think it's a very good team to go for in case if you are free hitting in game week 12. So what are you doing? Are you free hitting or are you using your wildcard in game week 12? Guys, do let me know in the comments below. Now let's talk about the best captaincy options for game week 12. Now this is 1 week, guys, where we don't have the likes of Gabriel Jesus, we don't have the likes of Erling Haaland, KDB, Foden and all the heavy hitters from Man City and Arsenal as captaincy options. And because of this, the captaincy is wide open, guys. Yes, we still have a Mo Salah, we still have a Liverpool team who's facing West Ham United at home. I think that has to be the route or the safest route where you go for captaincy. Of course, the kind of safety depends on which pick you go from for Liverpool. You can go for Salah, guys, who I think is going to be the safest option, safest captaincy option for this week. I think he's also a good captaincy option, so it's just not that everybody's captaining Salah, so you also end up captaining Salah. I still feel there's a lot of potential. He did have a good match against Man City, and I think there is a big haul coming from Mo Salah, guys. So he's the safest option to go for if you don't want to take any chances. If you are looking to protect rank, I think you should go for Mo Salah. In case if you're looking for differential options, guys, there's Trossard against Nottingham Forest as well. Nottingham Forest, they haven't looked that great. They do concede a lot of chances and there is haul potential in Trossard. We have already seen that. Brighton have looked really, really good in attack, guys. And Trossard, especially playing in that new attacking role, I think there is a lot of promise in there, guys. And I think he's a great option if you are looking to go a bit differential. If you, let's say, don't have Salah or maybe you don't want to captain Salah, I think Trossard is the next best option to kind of go for. In case if you have a differential already, let's say somebody like a Mason Mount, for example, who's facing Brentford, I think with Mount being in such form on a purple patch, guys, I think there is a good opportunity that you catch that purple patch and you captain him and get the maximum gains possible. So he's also a good captaincy option, slightly risky. In fact, I would say more riskier than a Trossard, for example. But I think Mason Mount is still up there in terms of captaincy, guys. In case if you are looking to captain a forward player, let's say if you are looking to captain somebody who can again explode, has the ability to score, is on penalties, is a talismanic figure for his team, you have Mitrovic, guys. Mitrovic has a great fixture. He's been in great form. We know that he's Fulham's main man. He's gonna score goals, guys, if Fulham are scoring goals. So I think he's a great option. If you want to go slightly safer, but then again kind of take a bit of a chance, I think Mitrovic is the guy, guys. He's also a good option to go for. If I had to rate all these captaincy options, guys, I would still say Mo Salah is the best captaincy option to go for this week. Then you have Mitrovic, then it's Trossard, and then followed by Mount at the end. So these are my captaincy priorities for Game Week 12. Who are you captaining for Game Week 12? Do let me know in the comments below. So that'll be all from my side for this video, guys. I hope this was helpful. This video was helpful for you to understand which players to buy and sell or even hold for Game Week 12. Maybe a wildcard in case if you're wildcarding, or even free hitting this week, and also get some clarity in terms of which are the best captaincy options for Game Week 12. We'll be back with another video, guys, where we'll talk about the biggest dilemmas for Game Week 12. So do watch out for that. Then we'll also have the deadline stream just a couple of hours before the deadline. So do join us if you have any more questions, transfer queries, or if you just want to pop up and say hi. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of chaos, but at the same time, it will be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you insaners next time.